And that's our entire production budget gone. I'm kidding. Yeah, it's fine. Actually, the jacket's in because my clothes aren't that great, actually. This video is supposed to have a script, but then I woke up this morning realizing that I don't have enough time to make one, and I need to make a quick video as a filler for a project that I'm working on. So, here we go. This right here is my daily laptop. It is 10 years old. It was initially my mom's and it has been handed down to me. And in this video we will talk about how usable it is in 2021. Do we have an intro? So, let's first talk about the specifications of this monstrous beast from 2011. It's got a Celeron 887 processor with two Sandy Bridge cores clocked at 1.5 gigahertz, 4 gigs of dual channel mismatched DDR3. Yes, that is actually mismatched DDR3. And actually a fairly decent Samsung 860 EVO in there that I upgraded it, and that's a 250 gig SSD, and it's fairly snappy. This this laptop I've been using for quite a while now, and I've gotten actually kind of used to it now. Performance is about what you would expect. In Cinebench, it got around like 195, and for context, here's some graphs from references that I was able to get. Again, for context, this is a single core performance of a 7020U. That's a mobile processor with also 2 cores but 4 threads. It's hyper-threaded. And this is the single core performance of my desktop, an i5 8400. So it's not exactly that fast. And with that 4 gigs of mismatched DDR3 RAM running at 1033 megahertz, it's not gonna light your world on fire. But usability wise, well, it's about as you would expect, sort of. You're definitely not going to do a lot of, heavy things on it, but web browsing and then doing simple document stuff, presentations, things that students like myself do a lot of, those you can get fairly by, with one exception: battery and charging. This thing has actually I don't know the spec of it, I need to look at it up. Whatever, it has a fairly small battery that gives it currently around 2 hours at lowest brightness and better battery setting on Windows. And I can try and find a new one of these, but I'm willing to bet it will probably not last me longer than 4 hours. So battery life, not very long and not ideal. And as you can see, there's some wire sticking out of the laptop right here. That's because the charging port is actually dead. So what I did is I jerry-rigged the solution. Then I got the 2 cut wires from it. I figured out which one is which and just wired it up into something like this, which has another one that I also modified from its 65 watt power brick, which is definitely needed for anything that is longer than about 2 hours or even just an hour of work, because trust me, it's just gonna shut down when you're not expecting it to, even at 28% sometimes. And that's really the main gripe of this to me. Like, I can deal with the performance. I've dealt with a lot of turds before. This dead tablet right here was a bit of a potato in and of itself, and I'm kind of used to the a bit sluggish but still fairly responsive performance of this laptop that I was able to get by and create my workflows for it. The biggest problem is I can't really do something with it without having it plugged in, and this thing sucks, actually. The solution sucks. It worked for a while flawlessly, and then it just started, I don't know, maybe the connection is a bit loose or something, but it just sometimes uh, just drops in and out, which is incredibly annoying, especially with the charging notification sound that it just gives. It just drives me crazy sometimes. So I don't know, sometimes I just leave it in my desk plugged in. You know, you're not supposed to do that because it's going to decrease the life of this battery even more. But I kind of have no choice. Another pain point is actually the screen. Now, it gets fairly bright, it's fine, but there's, I don't know, there's probably like a loose wire on it or something, and it just sometimes, I can't really show it on video, but it flickers sometimes. If there's an incredibly white background, you can just see that the screen is not quite right. In darker scenes, you can't really notice it, but it's definitely kind of broken. Also, the screen is not very great overall. It's not it's not very vivid, so you know it's not gonna pop your colors. But also, it's, I think, far from color accurate. I've tried editing photos on this. Yes, I do actually have Photoshop on here, and it's just a pain in the ass to try and do because even extremely simple things, even extremely simple things, it just can't do properly because, well, the processor is just kicking its arse off, and then the 4 gigs of RAM definitely gets eaten up. The fastest thing about this laptop is that SSD. The Samsung 860 EVO, it's not a video about this SSD, but it's lightning fast, it's quick, and if I put it in a faster laptop than this, it will definitely be more than enough. In fact, this used to have a mechanical drive, actually this mechanical drive. That's hilarious because I actually have it in set because of the other project that I'm working on. And this hard drive was not good, also it's dead. And running this thing off a hard drive is just dog slow, just don't do it. But with an SSD on it, it's actually fairly okay. It lets the processor rip up as much as it can, as much as a dual core from 10 years ago clocked at 1.5 gigahertz can anyways. So where does that leave us? Well, I'm not expecting a new laptop soon, so that's cool, I guess. It's fine. It's still usable, actually. I've been living with this. I've been writing scripts. I've been doing a lot of my school projects on here. I've been creating presentations and stuff like that on here, and honestly, for those work uses, yeah, it powers through them just enough. I don't really need something that fast unless I want to do some CAD, which, considering that I'm about to enter STEM next year, will probably be a bit of a problem. But for the meantime, it's serviceable, especially during this pandemic where we don't have to go to school and bring our laptops in and, you know, do presentations and have to ask permission to charge the laptop. I can just have it on my desk, and if there's something like, you know, online meetings or whatever, I actually have Discord installed and it works beautifully. It works great. So, oh right, gaming. If you're trying to game on this thing, you're a maniac, a crazed maniac, because, well, you have integrated graphics. It actually don't even officially have drivers in Windows 10. It only has drivers for Windows 8.1, which this laptop was initially on. Actually, it was Windows 8 and then it was upgraded to Windows 8.1. Whatever. The point is, the graphics driver on this thing is extremely finicky. I do have Intel's graphics control panel or something like that, and it works, but I have a feeling that it not being directly supported extremely hampers the performance. Like, the GPU doesn't even show up in Task Manager, just how finicky the driver is. So I kind of have the feeling that there's probably no graphics acceleration in this thing, and even if there is, the performance is atrocious. It's not a gaming machine, but for my use case, that's actually kind of a good thing to have. As a student, having no ability to game on this thing, like, at all. Makes me more focused on doing things rather than, seeing the Minecraft icon or the Counter-Strike icon saying, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna have to take a break, and then spend hours on it, and instead of doing your work. I'm saying that as though that actually happened to me, because no, it actually did happen to me. And having no distractions like that, and just having a dead simple laptop that does your stuff reasonably well is a nice plus, I guess. Now, the build quality on this thing is a bit atrocious at this point, but to be fair, it is... Oh, turn on. To be fair, it is 10 years old, and there's some missing keys on here, but this keyboard has already been replaced. It's not the factory keyboard. The factory keyboard died on it. And there's some keys also that doesn't work very well now. See that? Some keys don't really work very well anymore. And the thing just is plasticky, but considering that this has been through far too many abuses over the years, I actually kind of impressed at how it has held up. It's not a great laptop, but it's not even probably good enough, but it is serviceable. And that's one way to end this video. So if you like this filler video, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss a much more polished video that's actually coming up. The script is actually inside of here, which is hilarious. After this filming, I'm gonna ingest the footage on it, and then I'm gonna continue working on the script and the set design, some more junk in here so that it looks better on camera and stuff like that, and so that I can think about the information a little bit more clearly and not spew out misinformation on the internet. So that's good. So yeah, if you liked the video, you can hit that button. If you didn't like it, well, it's fine. I do understand it's kind of a weird video. It's not very informative. It's also extremely short, I think. But yeah, thanks for watching.